Hello. So welcome to Stretch and Relax and Yoga, because I know this sequence is definitely going to have two yoga poses within it. I want to do the Dolphin and the Pigeon pose. I want to suggest both of those. So what I'm thinking for this sequence today is that I want to suggest a feeling of stretching into confidence. So what that means to me are things like lifting and lengthening the body. So up in the top and in the legs. So lengthening the body. Opening. So opening through your heart, chest, shoulders, the space here. Opening through the hips too. But when you are confident, you can picture a person that is lifted, open heart, confident posture. So that lifted posture. And of course, deepening into the breath. Okay, so that relaxed breath that can help you stay calm. So, yeah, does that make sense? How you can use stretch and relax to stretch into confidence. So you can imagine if you have an interview that you're going to go to and you have all the information, you're ready to answer all of the questions, you got this. But you're still nervous, and it's also how are you going to present yourself, like within your body when you come in. And so that I think can be very important. The tall, lifted posture, the shoulders back, and using that deeper, slow breath to help relax your body. So yeah, and so this idea came into mind many years ago, not exactly doing this class, but the fact that I was teaching confidence in my classes. And I was so surprised when more than one, it happened enough times that I was like, wow, I'm doing this. More than one student came up to me, maybe at the end of the semester, after class, whatever, different stories, and said, thank you for helping me with my confidence, or teaching me confidence. And when I got this compliment, each time I was really surprised. I was like, whoa, that's pretty much the coolest compliment I've gotten, is what I feel. When because I did not imagine myself to be the confident person. So when I was young, and for many, many years growing up, super duper shy, I'm the shy girl. I'm the one who doesn't talk, stays, out of the big picture. Definitely the shy girl. So I never really imagined that I had that confidence. And I guess what happened is just time went by. Life happened, things came along, and of course my teaching that I've been doing since young has built up my confidence in many ways, but it still took years. And at some point along the way I realized that I was teaching it to others, and that was really cool to realize that. So anyway, let's move along. What I have, comfort-wise, you might start off in a butterfly. We'll be there a little bit. I have a pillow for lifted posture. The scarf. So I want to use it for a chest opener because we want to take the arms and shoulders back. So I have the scarf. We'll be on knees a little bit for hands and knees, moving the spine. So if you want more padding, I always have 2 yoga mats, but you could have an extra blanket. All right, so now first of all what I want to do is stretch into our figure 4. Because I know I want to do the pigeon pose today to lengthen through the outer hip and to lengthen our body. So right here in the beginning, I'm going to start by using the scarf, using the scarf to open the figure 4, just a little bit on each side. So you're welcome to also just use your hands. So I'm going to cross one leg over, hook the scarf around the foot, and come down. And I want to remind you of the deep breathing that you can practice that really fills your body up, okay? So you're going to find your stretch and see if you can relax your shoulders and use your scarf. And then when you're ready, you want to practice 3 of those really body-filling breaths. So close your eyes and really expand into the inhale, and then release with a big exhale. And then maybe 2 more of those. staying with this figure four a little bit longer, practice just an easy, natural, soft breath and notice the rise and fall of your breathing. So I'm going to switch legs. If it helps you to roll all the way up to seated, go for that. Or if you can switch on your back, doing that. Either way. So setting up your second figure four, just gently move into it, feel it, breathe softly into it. And then focus on 3 very deep body-filling breaths. Allow that deep breath to really fill your body. And your exhale be slow and long. And then staying with the figure four a little bit longer, your breath can just be soft and easy. Let it do its natural flow. And then when you're all done with that, you can release the four out, maybe use the scarf to help roll you up to seated. And take a seat in butterfly. Now what I'm going to do is use the pillow. And what's most important right now is actually not the butterfly. We're not stretching the legs so much, even though you can enjoy that if it feels good for you. But instead, I want you to have a very tall, lifted body because I want us to feel something, okay? So if it feels better to take your legs out like this, do that instead. Okay, either way. So what I want to do is take one hand down to the lower area and one hand up and spread the fingers out so you make space with your hand. And so when your body is curled, that bottom hand especially kind of gets crunched up. So you want you to feel the curl for a moment and then spread your fingers out and open up that space, lifting it up. And then you might just close your eyes and take 2 or 3 of those deep body-filling breaths. Very nice. So you can take the hands away. And since we're here in this butterfly, or if you want to come to butterfly for a moment, just use that. Stretch long over your legs, whether long is up here, in the middle, or down low. So a very important part of feeling confidence is feeling good about what you're doing. Okay? Feeling that you're doing what's right. And so I don't want you to think that any stretch I offer is the ideal stretch. It's not. You might find something I offer and realize that's not right for you. And so your confidence is going to tell you, I need to switch that one a little bit. I need to back off or take that one into a different position. Okay? And that is right. That's what you want to do. Okay? So now I'm going to switch our body around to child's pose. And so if your knees need extra padding, please go for that. So, turning my body for you. Reaching the arms. So what you want to feel is the lengthening of your spine, lengthening of the arms and shoulders. So I spread my fingers, let the body fall back. Either way, it could be a relaxed child's pose where your hips settle all the way down, or maybe a more active child's pose where you stay a little more lifted. Either way. So now practice 3 of those deep body-filling breaths. to hands and knees and move into the spine. Okay, so create that strong table, spread your fingers into the beautiful star hands, and begin to move into your spine, releasing down, open heart, and then exhale, curl from the lower spine all the way up to your neck. So feeling this movement, connecting your breath 3, 4, maybe 5 times, feel it out. And do one more of those. And now centering out. So what I want to do is the Dolphin Pose from yoga. So if you're new to that, if you're in Stretch and Relax class, you might watch for a second. But I have my hands placed here, and what I want to do is put my elbows where my hands were. Okay? And this is going to stretch down into your heels. And so you scoot your elbows in, you try to get a straight line in this forearm, spread your fingers wide, and then lift your hips up so you can stretch down into the legs, into the heels. Bow your head through. So you're peeking down to see your feet. So stretching down into your heels, what you could do is lift one foot and emphasize the stretch of the other heel. So staying with that for a deep breath. And then switching heels. You might find it a little harder to breathe deeply here. So you can imagine that like a little tiny bit of stress, but you want to breathe deeply into that stress, knowing that everything is okay. So stretching those heels long. So there's the Dolphin Pose. Release the knees down. Come on up, and I want to go into the shoulder reach. So what I'm doing is falling back onto my feet a little bit, kind of lengthening into an active child's pose, and then turning my right palm up. I use the other arm to kind of rotate my body, and I can lay down on that shoulder. And if my hips can, they could pull back just a little more. Deep breath here. Now, a suggestion I'd like to make is now turn the palm down, so rotate through the shoulder. Deep breath there. And then turn the palm back up one more time, one more deep breath. And then easing up and switch to the other side. Lay your head down on that shoulder, let the hips fall back. Deep breath here. Turn the palm down if you like. Take another deep breath. Last one, turn the palm up. Take another deep breath. And then make your way up. Okay, so I'm going to move into a back bend that's a little more lifted. So you're welcome to come down to forearms if you prefer, which sometimes you got to protect wrists or hands or lower back for this high back bend. And so what you might do, a lot of people love this one though, you shift the hips forward and you are on the hands lifting, lengthening through the front of your body. So take a deep breath here. Now notice if it doesn't feel right for you, forearms, little back bend there, equally awesome. So lowering down, you want to create the longest body you can. The floor is one of the best ways. So laying straight down on the floor like this, it's going to just force your body into that length. Force in a very nice way. So I'm going to come into the Sphinx pose, the one I was talking about a moment ago, where you can use the forearms to pull yourself forward into into a back bend. And feel that for a moment. Now keeping that, just see how it feels to let your head hang down through. Deep breath here. Now feeling this in your hands and your forearm, I want you to roll back up and try to draw your chest through, lifted, long. Alright, lowering down, I want to open the shoulder. Really open the shoulder. So this is one maybe you've done with me before. I'm going to first show this arm straight out, but I'm going to end up going the other way first. So you want your arm to be straight out like that. Okay. You can watch me first if you need the reminder. I'm going to take the other arm straight out so I can turn towards you. Roll over. Your head could be on a pillow or it comes down to the ground. Okay, I'm going to remind you that you could add in the top leg like this. One other addition, if you want to, could be this arm lifting up. Okay, if that doesn't work, because this is a deep shoulder stretch. You bring things down and you hang out at a slightly different level. It's all beautiful, it's all good. So finding your shoulder opener if you haven't already. Practice 1 or 2 really deep breaths with it. This arm that reaches up, some people it does fall back, and that's just fine if you feel okay with that. It's very interesting to teach from this position. I always find that kind of funny. All right, easing off of that, centering, and then you're ready to reach your second arm out. And take it step by step, please. So test out each little step. First, just rolling onto that shoulder. Relaxing your head and neck, and then adding on if you want to. And then easing off of that, centering your body out. We'll stay here a little longer. I want to open up the quadricep and give 2 suggestions for that. So I'm just turning one arm like that, and I'm reaching down, the one closest to you. So I'm reaching down one arm for the same leg and stretching here. So here's the alternative. I'm going to come back to this one in a moment. You can roll to your side, you tuck this leg back, and you can stretch your quadricep long here. So this is the front of your leg, getting that length there. You can also lengthen like this. Okay, so 1 choice or 2 choice. Stay with that for maybe 2 deep breaths. Step and you happen to be on your stomach, or you move back to your stomach, you can push the leg back into your hand and do a little lifted back bend here. And then lowering down and ready to switch sides. Maybe take a little shake out in the middle, switching hands, switching legs, choosing which one you want. Do you want to stay on your stomach or roll to your side? That word again, yes. Deep breath here. And if you want to play with a little lift, a little back bend, you practice pushing your foot into your hand, and it opens the shoulder and lifts it up a little more. Tempted and they want to reach back both hands for both feet. I'm only going to show it for a moment just in case anybody wants it. You are welcome to lift up into this little back bend. But I'm going to begin to shift my way up. So either a little cobra or something, a little back bend that brings you up and folds you into maybe a little 2-breath child's pose. Of course you can stay there as long as you want though. Actually maybe a little longer, because it's so nice after those back bends on your stomach to get your spine to then go back in this direction again. Alright, so now we get to play with a little pigeon pose. And since we did that figure 4, I hope you're feeling ready for a deeper pigeon pose. I'm going to stay this way so you can see the length of the pose. So bringing my right leg forward, I'm going to turn it at that little diagonal, flex my foot a little bit, and then practice this leg being long, situating that, and noticing the hips, that I'm not falling onto this hip, that I'm keeping them centered. And so at first, let's just go into the deep hip stretch. So you feel the pigeon legs, and then you slowly, if your body allows it, lower down into it, bowing into the hips. So welcome. Just stay with that deep stretch if you want. If you want to play with the lifted back bend, coming into a more full pigeon, you're welcome to. You would lift up. That's awesome right there. Your hands could shift back. You practice opening the chest. Perfect. If anyone wants to add on another step, the opposite leg could bend, and maybe your hand reaches back for it. And that's perfect. They're all good. Okay? Anything you find, feel your confidence within what you're practicing, that you are taking care of your body the best way you know. And then if anybody wants to play around and the hand reaches back, you can double it up, open your heart. And then I release that, and I'm going to switch to the second leg. So bringing my second leg through, practicing the length, reaching that, the balance in the hips, and then letting myself sink down over this pigeon pose. Deep breath, bowing down. Oh yes, let's remember that deep body filling breath here. You want to take 2 or 3 of those. It might lift up into a more lifted pigeon pose with the back bend. And this is the side that gives me more trouble. Okay, I have to think about my knee and my form, and I'm just not as flexible, and I'm not going to lose my confidence because of that. I'm going to take care of my body and breathe patiently into that. And so if your body allows, you might bend this leg. You might reach back. Maybe even add the other arm in. So go into the place that you want to be right now. Deep breath. When you are all done, you're going to ease out of that. We're almost done. I want to bring my body around and briefly come into bound angle with the feet together. And you might tuck, yes, I'm going to do that. I'm going to grab my pillow and tuck it underneath my hips to help my posture shift forward. So feet are together, maybe closer to the body. Inhale into that really lifted space. Exhale, reaching that forward. And that means something different for everybody. Sometimes forward is right here. Some of you that are more comfortable with this stretch might be lower, but you're doing your best to keep the length and the open heart. Okay. So the last little piece I wanted to do was, if your legs don't mind, bringing them to cross-legged, choosing an alternative. It doesn't matter how your legs are right now, it's more important that we are lifted in here. So again, spread your fingers, hand to heart. Take a deep breath underneath your fingers. Okay. Fingers go back, open back. Lean back into that little gentle soft wall behind you that you imagine. And you're going to reach for the sky. So create a sunrise, lifting to the sky. Inhale. Exhale down. So 2 more sweet, deep breaths with that movement. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale it down. One more time. Inhale and exhale. So your arms come around, your palms can come together. Feel all the fingers touch into your heart, your breath. And take a deep breath underneath your fingers so you feel the rise and fall. So ending with a yoga ending here. The light within me salutes the light within you. Namaste.